What's up, Blockheads? In the garage today with Eric.
It's good.
Backup Bro. You guys be sure to go follow him. Link right there on the screen. As you guys know, lately I've been falling behind on editing, so I'm going to edit, and Eric's basically here. I've hired this very professional mechanic.
Super professional.
To help me work on my bikes.
Highly untrained, highly unprofessional.
Yeah. You gotta like swip swap with the John Maxwell. Yeah, he's gonna be working on the Grom. He's gonna be showing you guys how to replace a clutch. So hand you off.
All right, what's up? What's up, Blockheads? So today we're gonna be working on Block's beat down Grom over here. The majority of us, Blockhead crew and Block himself, have literally beat this thing down to the point where the clutch is toast.
Shit. Keeping it at like 9,000 RPM and it's barely like... That's it, I top out at 42.
Yeah, your clutches are gone.
We still got mud all over this from the Grom adventures. We got pine needles. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna start off. We're gonna take the case off. We're gonna drain the oil first for sure. Let's see what we got. So here we got some of the stuff we're going to be installing on the bike. We got our new gasket, clutch plates, and the steel plates. Upgraded Koso clutch springs, right? This little plate, the clutch springs pretty much fit behind here. I guess on the factory Grom, the lifter plate tend to crack if you put stronger springs. So you want to definitely pick up this guy. We got this special, I call it like a castle socket, and it's going to be to remove the center bolt on the clutch basket. This is a definite must if you're going to replace the clutch plates. We also got this, it's from Honda. It came in a Honda box. Upgraded oil pump for those wheelies that Block's going to be filming here in the future. I want to see that happen. Some awesome 1040 Maxima oil. For all these parts, yeah, they're going to be in the description below. First thing you want to do is you want to soak the clutch plates. We don't really have a bowl to our disposal, so what we're going to do, put them in this Ziploc bag, put oil in there, and then put the bag in this bowl. Now, let's go drain the oil. We're gonna start off with draining the oil. Block went ahead and rode the bike around the block a few times, as much as he could with the bad clutch. The drain plug's right here in between the exhaust. We're gonna use a deep well 17 mil and a 3-inch extension. Let's see if I can do this without making a huge mess. Get my fingies in there. Oh, there we go. To make things flow quicker, we could take off the fill cap. What happens is it creates a vacuum. When you take the cap off, it just flows right out. Oh, there goes the dipstick. Now it's just a quart, so yeah, it just drains out pretty quick. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start taking these bolts off the case. To remove this case, we got an 8 mil socket. We're gonna be using this dual impact driver to bust off, you know, nuts and bolts. It's okay to use the impact driver. On reinstallation, I'm definitely gonna do everything by hand because you don't want to strip anything. Block, he'll never let me hear the end of it. So, you know, I gotta make sure I do this right. There's a couple bolts back here behind the rear sets. I've seen in places where they say you can work around the rear set. I can't get to it, so I'm gonna have to take this rear set off. To do so, I'm gonna have to take off this 19 mil nut, 12 mil bolt right here. And then I have to undo the exhaust clamp up here. A 12 mil wrench on the back, and then this is a 6 mil Allen. Oh, yeah. All right. I need to, oh shit. I need to get me one of these. Wow, I'm totally getting one of these. Ready? Breaker bar situation. Bam, son, there we go. Some stuff you just gotta do by hand, you know what I mean? All right, that works. Perfect. So now we get this cover off. I've never done a clutch on a Grom, so if I can do it, anybody can. Now all that's left are these 8mm bolts. All of them are the same length. That makes reinstallation easy. This should just come off. Yo. What we're gonna do, see the oil pump down here, right? And I believe the pickup is back here. That oil pump that I showed you earlier, it has a line that comes all the way back here. What happens is, the oil's sitting in a bath in here, right? About a quart. And what happens is when you do a wheelie, the oil is gonna sit pretty much like how my, you know, how my hand's sitting. It's all gonna be back here. And what'll happen is it'll starve the oil pump from being able to pump oil through the motor. So, with, you know, we're gonna have that line coming back here. It's pretty cool that Honda makes that. They already know the business. First, what I'm gonna do, this is the oil slinger here, right? You can rotate the motor with this guy. Bust off these 10 mils. From what I've seen before is like sludge will build up in here. So I'm gonna clean that up and then put that back together. And then I'm gonna knock off these 10 mil bolts right here. And you wanna take them off slowly, evenly, because you know, that's under spring tension. Slowly pull that off. It looks like I'm gonna have to take this guy out, these two bolts down here, to be able to get the plates out. Sure enough, there's a bunch of gunk in there. We're gonna wipe all that out. I'm glad we took this off. Now, somewhere I read you're supposed to do this every 2 or 3 oil changes. If you're in here, just do it every time, you know? I'm gonna pull this off, and this is where you need that special castle socket. So real quick, you got the factory oil pump here, right? Then you got this bad boy right here. That's gonna go right there. You see how that line goes all the way to the back? Perfect for what we need to take this crazy looking nut off. The big side is for in here. Yeah, yep, there we go. Money. And then once we get this oil slinger off, we'll take these nuts off. This comes off, and then I assume the little guy will be in here to take the nut off for the basket. Or let's take these off real quick. Might as well. I'll tell you what, these impact drivers are the tits McGee right here. The shiznit. This is like stuck behind the clutch basket. This will come out once we take all this off. Make sure you keep all your screws and everything together with its corresponding plates and pieces. You don't want to just throw everything in a bag and be, all right, where does it go? Sweet. Sweet, okay, so it's a splined unit, that's great. So now we got that off. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a quick wipey. And so now that gives us room to get to the oil pump. We'll go ahead and knock that out while we're here. We'll do the clutch last. I really want to let the new clutch plates sit in oil for as long as possible, that it's soak in, you know? So I need that 10 mil. Yup. Did we just become best friends? Yup. They're all the same length, so this should just slide off. Bam. Now I've gone ahead and cleaned up any kind of shavings or anything off the new pump, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the new one in now that I'm here. What's good about this one is I've seen other ones that don't come with this gear on it, and so you have to take the gear off of your old oil pump. This one fortunately comes with it on there already, so that's good. Thanks, Honda, you're the goodest. There we go. Like I said, I'm going to use a ratchet for this. I really don't trust myself with that impact driver. Always start screws by hand so you don't cross thread anything. I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. I'm not the biggest Grom fan, but after working on this today and how easy this is, I may have to get a monkey. I'm just saying, it might happen. I don't know. What do you guys say? Get a monkey or get like a DRZ? You tell me. Oil pump installed. That easy, dude. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take this basket off. I'm going to take this off by hand so that I can do it nice and even. So let's go ahead and break torque on them. Oh, that's barely on there. Okay, good to know. So we got that lifter plate removed, right, with those 3 screws. Here's the factory lifter plate right here, right? Now what happens is these little fingers right here where the screws go, and also the ones where there's no screws, when you put higher pressure springs, what happens with this lifter plate is it'll tend to crack. What Block got here is this Koso billet aluminum lifter plate. Like I said earlier, parts are in the description below. I was kind of nervous because this one has a bearing in it, right? But luckily it just pushes right out, so we're good to go with that. All right, here we go. Sick. I want to drop it in nice and even. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. That's your home. Get in your home. It was easily pressed out of the old aluminum. I had a hard time putting it in this billet piece, so what I did is I put a big rag on both ends and I pressed it in with the vise. Nice and straight, as you can see. It rotates freely, nicely. So now that's set up, ready to go. Goes right there. Okay, what we're gonna do next, I'm gonna take these springs out. These are trash, we don't want these. Those go in the garbage. And we're gonna take this new castle socket, right? We're gonna put it over this guy and take our 1/2 inch. I love this impact gun, man, I'm telling you. I still got that castle, that nut off, right? This will come right off along with this little washer. We'll pull this whole thing off as a unit. There you go. So let's pick this back up at the workbench. You got your whole clutch basket right here, right? That little tray, the one wiped out. There was some like clutch material in here. It's not a bad idea to wipe everything down, clean out any particles of anything, you know, nice and clean. We got our steel discs here. We got our clutch material over here, then on the disc. I'm gonna turn this over and try to keep everything together. All right, so that's our basket. Put that over. There's a washer back there too. Make note of that. Washer on the back. It must have went that way. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the marker and make a mark here. It can be anywhere as long as you get them lined up. So now I feel confident about removing all these discs at once. The first one that goes on is a clutch material disc. So let's go ahead and put one of those on. It's gonna get a little messy. So we're gonna go one material disc. From looking at these discs, there's like a flat edge right here and then a curved edge. Flat edge is gonna point upward. Slip that guy on. Boom. And we'll grab another disc out of the oil. Slap her on. Yeah, and they're down to nothing. these discs are toast. We really did a number on this clutch. Nice and oily. What? Steelio. Now what I'm gonna do is try to line all these up like they were when we took them off. Here's the mark I made. I'm gonna take this guy and boom, perfect. We want those marks to line up. We're gonna put it back in the basket first. Can't forget this washer that was on the back here. Pop that guy in there. Slip these mother suckers in there. Hey, we're gonna put these awesome Koso heavy duty clutch springs, right? I'm gonna put the letters facing outward. Put this guy here. All right, we'll put the springs on after. So now that we got the assembly back in, let's reverse the process, right? So we're gonna put our washer, weirdo nut thing, screw that bad boy back on, clockwise. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna do all this stuff by hand. All right, this guy, I'm gonna hit it with the impact so that we can get it nice and tight. Okay, I guess we could do our cool springs now, right? So now we can try to put this guy back on. You guys want to make sure all the springs are seated. Sweet. We got the basket back in and it's nice and flush. Have those lines marked up. I went ahead and loosened this and put the oil pump on without thinking about, we got this line here now. Well, now it kind of blocks the bolts from being able to be put in. So I'll just take it off. Oil pump coming back out. Woo. Easy though. No, it's a really easy job. It's just really oily. If you don't like oil on your hands, wear gloves. I can't stand gloves. I try to wear them, but they always rip or they're always in the way. So I'd rather just do it free-handed. Now, I'm not using torque. I know people are like real like torque spec. You go by the size of the bolt. I mean, you can freehand it. Like the bolt tells you when to stop. I'm choked up, you know, right there. It says stop, don't go anymore. There's no need to like keep going, you know. I mean, it's something you learn. Okay, so now I can put the oil pump back on.
A few moments later.
I was taking a look at the old oil pump, and there are two little like positioning dowels, one here and one up here, that were left in the stock oil pump. So I went ahead and I took the oil pump back out, took the dowel pins, the positioning pins out of the stock oil pump, put them in there, and I went ahead and put it back. After doing so, I put the oil slinger back on with that castle nut, and then I tightened these guys up. I went ahead and I put this little trough back in with those two 10 mils at the bottom. These guys, they bottom out. Make sure your springs are sitting flush. You don't want the springs like cocked or anything. We got all the old wussy springs out. We got this guy replaced. We got the old oil pump off. And we got the new clutches in. So all that's left, putting the case back on, right, with the new gasket that we have. Take that case, take that green gasket off, use the new gasket, throw it on. Put our bolts back on, put the rear set back on, connect the clutch cable, and then connect the exhaust. But ain't no law against having a claw, right? Whew. Nothing like drinking on the job. Nah. Alright, so she's ready for the new gasket. Honda gasket. Parts in the description below. Locating dowel here on the case, and then one on the block. There's locating dowels on the motor, so we're gonna go with those instead of. So let's go ahead and get this on back on the bike. There's one dowel over here that I was talking about. Let's go ahead and zip zippity doodah these bolts. Now I'm gonna go around with a wrench, just give it the Eric torque. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around every other bolt and just go around and snug. Alright. Left clutch. Nice, very nice. It's just I'm gonna throw all this back together right now. Alright, rear set back on. Now all we gotta do is fill the bike with some oil. Oh, wait a minute, the drain plug. Like I said, all the parts we use today are in the description below. Anybody can do this. If my caveman ass could do it, you sure can. Damn, is that a dent? Poor bike, man. I'm telling you, this bike is treated so rough in comparison to like the other ones. Time for oil. All right, so we're putting 1 full quart in here. All right, and that's it. We're done. So let's start it up. See what happens. Is it gonna run nice? Is it gonna knock? Is it gonna blow up? I don't know. This is my first time doing this on the Grom. If it blows up, don't tell Block. She runs. All right, let's put it in gear. There you have it, folks. I might have to get one of these. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Oh, and I almost forgot. If you liked today's episode on the Grom, please like, comment, and subscribe if possible. It really helps out the channel. Hopefully you guys like these videos because I'm gonna be around for a while helping out Block. You know, gotta grow this channel, make the Blockhead world grow. Critique me, you know. Let me know what I can work on, and we'll go from there. All right, everybody. Deuces. We out.